I would have been 2, 4, 5, 6.
State of the Save is back with part 2 of The Last of Us. Not part 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 of part 1 of The Last of Us.
The one game series that breaks how we name these episodes.
I really am kind of disappointed in that because we have this nice clean history on the Spotify, and now we have to be really specific on this one franchise. But that's okay because this is a great game and we're having a great time playing through it. I am Eric. With me as always is Michael. Guys, it's been a hell of a week, but it's always good to be back in front of a microphone. Michael, how things been going, man?
It's been going good. It's an exciting time in the world of video games.
It kind of is. Like we've been talking for a little while, but it's Summer Games Fest season. Michael has been kind of keeping me abreast of the press conferences, and I've been watching some of them. We watched the Sony press conference yesterday on date of record. We have the State of Summer Games Fest on Friday, Xbox press conference on Sunday.
Possibly Nintendo stuff next week. There's some rumors that it's going to happen next week, probably around Tuesday, Wednesday.
We were talking about this today, and you're right. I think it would be the coolest thing for them just to let everything kind of get out of the way, and then they can come in and do their own thing at the end while people are still hyped up about press conferences. I love this time of year. I look forward to this time of year because, dude, there's nothing better than just seeing cool video games.
It would feel like Christmas. Do I miss like the cringy press conferences? Yes, I do. I miss a lot of the charm. Everything feels kind of samey now, but man, nothing hits more than when something you've been looking forward to or was just a rumor that you're like, man, I hope this is real. And then it shows up and you're like, oh, this is cool. You have some really interesting surprises happen.
When the surprise hits, or when you had a trailer for a game like 2 years ago and you finally get to see gameplay footage and it lives up to the hype or whatever. Like, I used to love E3. I used to watch G4 when they did their live press, from the floor stuff. I used to that was one of my dreams as a preteen was to go to E3. I remember hearing all the crazy behind the scenes stories on the podcast back in the early days of podcasting, like the One Up show and stuff like that. And then when Giant Bomb became a thing, I have so much nostalgia for that time that I am sad that it's gone, but this is still as close as I can get to it. So I'm like, okay, Jeff Keighley, our patron saint Jeff Keighley, is out here keeping it alive for us. I've got a little candle with Jeff Keighley on it over in the corner. We light it every June.
June, every December.
Every June and every December, we light the candle for Jeff.
Did you remember to light the candle this year? Is that how we got High Guard?
Wait a second. Oh, shit. State of the Save, responsible for High Guard.
It's our fault.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I forgot to light the candle. If you want to send me a Jeff Keighley candle, I will put it on my desk and we will light it every episode. No, but it's been great. We're going to do a show on all the press conferences, the games we've been hyping. I'm sure, Michael, you've got a list. Michael actually is doing a really cool thing. I'll let him talk about it here in a second, but we are going to do a show on all the press conferences. But Michael, you've been doing a little project that's been really cool. I want you to plug.
I have been. So originally this started out as me just doing something for friends to keep them in the know, because the downside of everything kind of being its own separate thing and independent, some things are operating independently, some things are operating within the Summer Games Fest umbrella. It's really hard to keep track of. So there was one Giant Bomb user who made a schedule of every event. I don't have his name in front of me right now, but I'm sure I can grab that within a few seconds. But so going off of that, I made a Summer Games Fest 2026, every announcement and every trailer list. So in the description of this episode, you'll have a link to a spreadsheet where you can see every single event laid out by its trailer, its platform, and its tentative release date, as well as tagging my personal favorites so I can go back to when we talk about the episodes and talk about some like the indie games, because there's a lot of indie shows. Did you know that there was a indie direct just for French speaking developers?
I did not.
Yes, and they showed off a couple of cool things, including, I'll plug one thing here, Silent Planet. That was that show.
Oh, okay, yes, I liked that game a lot. I would not have seen that game if it was not for your spreadsheet, because I'm not gonna lie, it's a good title, and that was the reason why I looked it up. Like, I looked at it, I was scrolling through because I too have been following the spreadsheet, and I was like, oh damn, that's a cool title, and that game was added to the list of games I'm hyped for this thing. So I'm pretty happy about it. So look, the spreadsheet exposed me to Silent Planet.
And special thanks to at Marino V1 for that E3 time zone chart that I use frequently to figure out when I'm going to do these. But yeah, we've had a bunch so far. There's been the French Direct, Thinky Direct, Insider Game Showcase, Indie Quest, The Mix, Midsummer Night's Dream, Black Voices in Gaming, and PlayStation State of Play so far. So if you only watch PlayStation State of Play, there's a ton of events with a ton of indie games, some really cool stuff. Some stuff that's like considerably early, but a lot of stuff that's actually coming out near the end of this summer so far. They're indie games, so they might tend to be pushed back later. But yeah, there's also a Dragon Quest thing we'll talk about. So
I think,
hair discourse is something that I am very happy to see. With everything being so toxic, people just talking about a JRPG dude's hair.
These are the arguments we should be having.
Yes, thank you.
Like, I don't want to argue about whether or not Kratos has to be in every God of War game, but I do want to argue whether or not that hairstyle is cool. Like, no, I think this thing has been super helpful for everybody. It's been really, Michael has been, getting a lot of buzz off of it. Definitely pass this around to your friends. I would tell you right now, it's a great way to track this stuff. Michael's doing the work, so big ups on him. This is all on him. It's not on me. He's been doing a great job with it.
Do I have 2 lines here for Ace Combat 8 and then 1 for the pre-order bonus? Yes, I do. My bias shows in this thing, so what can I say?
I was late on the State of Play press conference because I wasn't able to watch it live. And so as I was watching it, I was kind of texting Michael things that I was excited about and such. And then when that came up, I said, how loud did you scream when this trailer came on?
No comment.
But no, we're going to do a show on this, but I would say, obviously in the show, it's going to be focused mostly on stuff that we are excited about. I would suggest go to the Excel document, check out the stuff you're excited for, and that way you can also kind of start making your list. Video games are coming out at such a rapid pace right now, especially with indie games. If you don't kind of keep a track of what you're looking for, you can miss great stuff. Michael's doing a great job here. Go check that out. Pass that around to your friends. And we'll do the State of the Save Summer Games Fest show probably in the next week or so.
When they stop announcing showcases.
Then we'll do it. What will happen is we will record the show, and then 2 hours later, Nintendo would do the direct without telling us, and then we will have to do like an addendum.
Oh no, we're missing Ubisoft. We'll just record anyway.
What a shame.
Oh no.
What a shame. It just, your Excel document for some reason just says, and then Ubisoft did something.
Not Beyond Good and Evil 2. Sad face.
The sad thing is, at the dying days of E3, they were already bad at press conference.
I miss their bad press conferences, though.
Remember when they had, like, the Wii Fit people out there dancing and stuff? Or the Wii Dance or whatever?
Just Dance.
Just Dance people, yeah.
Which, up until the late 2010s, was still going on the Wii. I was cheering for that. It lasted on the Wii longer than it did the Wii U. They dropped the Wii U version quicker than the... Which, best scam in the world that you could run for kids... You don't even have to own Just Dance. You could just play those YouTube videos and the kids will dance thinking that they're a part of it. My friend's children's entertainment venue and stuff like that. So the fact that you could just put on Just Dance and the kids will dance to it. You can save $70 every year by just playing YouTube videos.
Just play YouTube. When the ads come on, just tell them that they put those in video games now.
They're not lying.
You're not lying. They do it.
Check out the Xbox dashboard for more ads.
Oh my God. But we will be doing that in the next coming week or so. RPG Summer, also coming. We got a lot to announce, Michael. We got a lot going on here at State of the Save. RPG Summer. You have until the next episode, which will be the last Last of Us episode. So part 3 of this game club will be when we announce RPG Summer. We have had an ungodly amount of suggestions. Been very, very appreciative of that. But get in there. You can still get your suggestions in for RPG Summer. Make sure you try to get those in before then. We will make the selection right before the podcast, and then we will announce it then. Once we do that, that's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a multi-part show. Obviously, we'll still do our special shows here and there, but this will be our main thing for the summer.
We've never done a game club that's 5 parts long.
Maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out.
This might be a one-time thing, and we go, that was a weird experiment that we'll never do again, or let's make this a yearly thing.
I think it'll be fun. Please get your suggestions in before the deadline, and we will make the announcement on the part 3 of our Last of Us game club. Whew, that's a lot to announce, Michael. I think I missed something too, but it'll come to me later. Michael, have you been playing anything?
Yeah, so last time I talked about a game that really took me by surprise, Sayonara Wild Hearts, a game I got on sale. If you missed me talking about last time, it is a pop album video game that you can complete in an hour. There's like a level-based temple run set to some really cool music. I beat the game and unlocked, I've 5-starred or gold ranked every single level. So then upon doing that, I went and there's 3 challenges that open up. One is a full album run where you play the whole game, one sitting, go for 1 score. 1 million points get you the gold rank. I got 997,000 points. I was so mad at that full album run. But upon completing it, I unlocked a 3rd one that has been occupying my time. You get remix mode.
Oh, that's cool.
And remix mode is, it drops you into a random, I say random, but it's, they section like different parts out of each song and basically hit shuffle. So you're going and doing a little bit of a song, and then you'll transition into another part of another song. So your memorization of the main game helps. And I think it makes you better at the main game because you are playing these like sections over and over and over again. But it does like the WarioWare thing, is once you do a few levels, it speeds up. Okay. So now these levels that you are familiar with, now it becomes like more Twitch reaction. The song is also accelerated at a rapid pace, so you're hearing the music in a completely different way as it gets faster and gets more higher pitched. So it has you thinking about these levels in a completely different way. This is a blast and has like doubled my playtime in this game playing the remix mode. I think it is so much fun.
I think, you talked about it last time, that the game is relatively short and kind of a shorter experience, but it sounds like with all this stuff, there's tons of replayability and stuff. So, it kind of extends the life.
It's an hour-long game if you play everything and don't try to gold rank the levels. It's about a 3-hour game if you do decide to gold rank the levels, but there's a bunch of cool stuff that opens up after where you just want to keep doing like the challenge runs and everything. Eventually, I'll get tired of it, but for a game that I paid $3 for on sale, I've got more than got my money's worth out of it.
Oddly, that sounds like something that I've been playing. It just dawned on me. It's kind of like the Leon Must Die mode in Resident Evil 9, where it's like hitting different parts of the game all back to back to back, and making it harder. So it's kind of the same vibe,
sort of like that.
Yeah, which is weird that those kind of go side by side. I've been playing that. I really am enjoying. I actually have enjoyed that mode. Did you fiddle around with that at all?
I fiddled around with it. I did a couple runs. I got all the way to a late game boss fight. Not the end game boss fight, but a late game boss fight when I was clearly underpowered for it, so that did not go well.
I mean, it's heavy into like the difficulty on that thing can spike on you really quickly. I enjoy it because that combat feels really, really good. And just having the combat there is just really nice. I'm not actually super into like the roguelike stuff. I've talked about on this show a lot that that's not a genre that I enjoy. I don't like that kind of thing. Would I have enjoyed like a Mercenaries mode instead of this? Possibly. But this is still really, really good. But it's just kind of weird that those two kind of feel similar in the vein.
They feel similar, like finding replayability in games that you want to like go back to and experience again and again without having to sit down and play the full.
I kind of miss.
You want the bite-sized experience of the main game to play in a short burst, which is why I wanted Resident Evil Requiem on the Switch, because Capcom's really good at post-game support, and I thought, hey, that'd be a cool way to go back and experience Resident Evil Requiem if I could just there's going to be a mercenaries or equivalent mode on this thing. Having that portably, playing in bed is how I want to experience that thing. So
It's kind of weird because I feel like video games, and this is a tangent, but I feel like there was a point in time where video games had a lot of like bonus modes or like time attack or like mercenaries for Resident Evil or like this, that, and the other. And I feel like that kind of fell off over time. It kind of fell out of style. But I really do appreciate games that have like post-game challenge rooms and like little stuff like that, like little side games to the main game. Especially when
an extras menu.
An extras menu, yeah. Like if I enjoy a game a lot, especially like single player games. Like I know most games have multiplayer, and that's like what I would say probably took that place. But I enjoy like challenge mode and stuff like that. I like those little bonus games added to the main game, especially if it's a single player game that, once I complete it, I'm less likely to jump right back into. If I have a little like mode to fiddle around with from time to time, it keeps me engaged. It keeps me in part of the game. So I really love that stuff.
My favorite one in recent years was Hitman. They added a mode called Freelancer mode. Do you know about this?
Is that the one where it's like it changes the targets?
That you're thinking of like the elusive target modes that pop up. Freelancer mode is a roguelike mode within Hitman where you start out with a limited stock of weapons. It randomly picks a target in the environment and says, kill him and escape. And then you get rewards and can build out your like hidden assassin lair with a bunch of different like suits and like cosmetic items and stuff. That is the most robust way of adding replayability to a game I've ever seen.
Also, it's so smart because that's the appeal of that game. Like, the main thing I enjoy about Hitman is going around killing targets. If you just say, and here's a new one, and here's a new one, and here's a new one.
And what's cool
that's all I really want to do.
If you exit out of the level bad, the next target will be even harder because they'll have more security around them and everything. And there is a really cool bit once you get to like the syndicate leader. The coolest thing about Hitman is like the crowds and the environments that you occupy within that world. So when you get to the syndicate leader, what it does is based on the information you gathered, you'll either have more information or have less information. So it's like you're looking for a target with red hair, sunglasses, and smokes.
It's like, okay, let's go pick that out of the entire crowd here.
But it narrows it down depending on your information. It'll either be a lot of people or they'll have it down to like 3 people. So then you're going and inspecting him. It's like, does this guy smoke? Does he smoke? So you're following him around and see him. Once he pulls out a cigarette, you're like, I got my guy.
That's the guy.
I love that mode so much. It's a lot of fun. I am bad at it. It is brutally hard. It's for the experts of that game. So it is a lot of fun. It's a mode as much fun as it is to play as it is to like watch good people at it. So
I am it's a good little segue. I'm very excited about playing Last Light, 007 Last Light.
First Light, sorry.
First Light. Why am I saying Last Light? Dude,
you're thinking of Metro.
Oh, I'm thinking of Metro. Thank you for the correction.
Sorry.
No, I'm happy you corrected me. Correct me before I get the angry TikTok comments. It's not like we record these at 9:00 at night. No, I'm very excited for that game, man.
Me
and
too.
like, I've been watching some gameplay footage of it. It has that Hitman kind of DNA in there. But dude, that thing looks so good. I'm so excited for that. I'm hoping to play that soon. Like, I was watching a streamer named Stormfall play through it. And there's a section in which she was in like a kitchen area. And she was just throwing cups at the guy like over and over and over again. But each cup had a different one-liner. And I'm like, this is hilarious. This is the best. Like the fact that they took into consideration that, like at one time he threw it. He's like, oh yeah, you take it with 2 lumps or 3. It's just like, it was good, man.
That's a great Bond one-liner there.
Oh, seems like it's a great like version of Bond. I am excited about this game.
I've seen some clips. As blind as I'm trying to go into that thing, it's a matter of when, not if, of me getting it. Like as soon as things line up and the means are good, I'm gonna get that game. Scoop, $70 is steep for any video game, especially with everything going on right now. But it's like as soon as things line up, like I'm getting that game as soon as things look good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't know what that was. I apologize. But
You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
I mean, dude, it's been a hell of a year. I keep talking about that. Well, I think that me and you are both people who generally wait for sales. We try to get a lot of games on sale. Game Pass is a big thing for me. You know, you try to be smart, as you say, with everything going on, which carries a heavy connotation behind it.
Yep.
But I think this year has had so many like must-play games because I have purchased more games this year day one than I usually ever do, between like Resident Evil 9 and Pragmata, and then those games like that wasn't games for me necessarily, but they're still huge games like Crimson Desert and stuff like that. Like there feels like there was just a lot of like must play day one stuff. Mixtape was like that for me.
Next year is looking bonkers.
This year is still bonkers.
Yes,
we got to make it through this year.
That's the second. Yeah, no, but the second half of this year.
Oh yeah, like September is insane.
Literally,
September is insane.
There's like 5 heavy hitters coming out within a week of each other, and I gotta pick one.
I guess people are trying to get out of the way of Grand Theft Auto.
It's gonna be Ace Combat. Let's be real. Of the games coming out that week, it's gonna be Ace Combat for me.
Wolverine.
Oh, but Wolverine.
But Wolverine.
But Wolverine. That is a good point.
Wolverine.
I did not anticipate. Yeah, that wrench being thrown in there.
Dude, that 7 minutes of gameplay footage, I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. No, games are like firing on all cylinders right now. We look to have an amazing rest of the year coming. And like some of games we are recording on, Wednesday night here. We still have several big press conferences to go. There's still chances that big games are announced for this year, going forward. And I'm already looking at the rest of the year going, man, this is like top tier. Like this is going to be a tough year for Game of the Year. This is going to be a tough year to play everything.
If everything holds and not a lot gets pushed to next year, we might be looking at an all-timer year here. It's gonna,
dude, it might be like Capcom's going to have 3 games this year because they had Resident Evil 9, they had Pragmata, and they had Onimusha. Did I say that right? Onimusha. Listen, I can barely speak English, much less speaking anything else. But which looked amazing. Like the gameplay footage on that's not a series I'm familiar with, but Capcom right now has been hitting on such like a high success rate. I'm just gonna ride with them until told otherwise.
There's a demo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the demo.
Man, me too. I'm gonna play that demo.
I saw it came on yesterday. I'm gonna grab it and play that. But like, dude, which also very smart because that's how they sold me on Pragmata, was playing the demo, and I was like, oh, this works. This hacking mechanic really works. Dude, yeah, this is like all time we're looking year right now with what we've already had. We've already had 5 to 10 games this year that are great.
Games for like every demographic. We have like stuff on the indie side. We have Pocopia and Tomodachi Life selling stuff for the more casual audiences for the Switch. We have Crimson Desert, a big game with just stuff to do.
Just a big open world.
Which is going to tide a lot of people over until the king of stuff, Rockstar, comes out with GTA 6. Here's a world you can play in and discover stuff for 10 straight years. Isn't it great?
Dude, there's an argument to be made that you could just buy Crimson Desert at the beginning of the year and play that till Grand Theft Auto and then play that for the rest of the year.
That's what a
lot of people are going to do.
That's what a lot of people are doing. Yeah.
Completely valid. On top of the fact that, like you said, those games of different kind of strokes, right? So like one of my top 3 games this year is obviously Resident Evil 9, and then I fucking love Mixtape. I thought Mixtape was amazing. So it's like we're having games all over the place, and that's the way you want it to be, man. That's what we want. That's what we need here. It's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of video games.
All ships, and if all sides of the games industry, from the game side, hardware is a nightmare. But if you have a means to play video games, the video games are good.
Exactly.
That's what's keeping this industry healthy right now, is the quality of the games coming out. If the games were bad and the consoles are expensive as they were, we would be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be.
I think it would. I think video
tragic.
games will be in legitimate trouble if there was not this high quality amount of games coming out. Because, like I said, very few people can afford consoles right now. The prices have gone up significantly since they got launched.
If you have one, you're holding on for it for your life.
And like, but what we are seeing is like, hey, there's good stuff happening here. And like, I make the argument here. You have a console already. $70 for a new video game in a world in which prices are just out of control isn't actually that unreasonable compared to like try to go to the movies a couple of times that week, try to do something else. It's expensive as hell. Game that lasts you 20, 30 hours is probably a good deal, you know? And like I said, even games that I'm not super into, like I go back to Crimson Desert is not my kind of game. I still want to see them succeed. And like, so yeah, this is great, man. I feel like we're on the right track here. There's just huge bangers. 007 coming out this month. Is another one like already on the list. Got to play 007.
I'm in a Bond mood because of that game, so I've been watching Mike Minotti over at Giant Bomb play GoldenEye, and there was a really funny bit in that stream where he's on the train level, and then it just said he gets that mission that says escape the train. It's like, what? How do I escape the train? What do you mean escape the train? I only got 3 minutes to escape the train. And everyone's like, have you not seen the movie? It's like, why do I need to watch a movie to know how to escape the train? What are you talking about? I'm like, that's a valid point. We all just knew to use the watch on to use the laser watch to escape the train. But he's like, I've seen that movie like 20 years ago. What are you talking about?
It does kind of remind you from time to time because I feel like GoldenEye, the game, has like transcended the fact that it's a movie tie-in.
Yeah.
So like people, like that game was so big that like, yeah, a lot of people have not seen that movie or have not seen it in 20 years. So it's like, they're not playing it like a movie tie-in. They're playing it like a classic N64 game. You know? No, you've also always been like a Bond guy. You're like a Bond guy.
I watched Bond when I was way too young to watch James Bond. I did watch GoldenEye this week, and I was like, oh, good Lord.
We were a Mission Impossible household.
I love Mission Impossible.
No, I mean, Mission Impossible, great thing. My father, diehard Tom Cruise fan. Like, I don't get why, but that man will, if you put Tom Cruise in a movie, he will go day one to watch Tom Cruise in that movie.
I've been watching them all in order in preparation for First Light. GoldenEye just happened to be the next one. We got a little bit of time. The Living Daylights. Everyone check out The Living Daylights. That movie rules. Timothy Dalton. Fantastic movie. Just the most James Bond movie. Has like gadgets, has spies versus assassins. It has like Bond doing a cool thing where he's wearing a tuxedo. Then he goes into a hotel room. He folds his collar over so it becomes a tactical vest. Undoes the bedding on the bed, and there's a sniper rifle underneath. Then puts on gloves and just walks out to the balcony and starts with night vision goggles trying to like snipe somebody. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. So yeah, Living Daylights, fantastic movie. Might be my favorite one in this run so far.
I feel like any diehard Bond fan usually has like a more dark horse pick for their favorite movies, right? Like those the like,
you have Casino Royale and GoldenEye, and From Russia with Love and Goldfinger, and Spy Who Loved Me are the ones that are
From Russia with Love is really good.
From Russia with Love is amazing.
I really like that. Might be my favorite.
It's a good pick.
Like, okay, real quick, who is your favorite Bond?
Dalton.
Oh, really?
Dalton. Yep, 2 movies. I just talk about a guy who wanted that role so bad. And you can tell on the screen, he's like, this is everything I wanted in life, and I'm going to give it my all for these 2 films.
I mean, I can't argue with it. I would, like, oddly enough, like, I feel like it is like the safe pick. Like, I do like Sean Connery. Daniel Craig is a good Bond, especially as like as like a casual Bond guy. Like, I'm not super diehard. I've not seen them all, but like Daniel Craig is pretty great, and I feel like he kind of gets like, if you like list your favorites, people are like, well, that's the most recent one, so that doesn't have the same weight to it. He's really good. He's really
great in that role. They're all here's the secret. They're all great.
I don't know if there's a bad Bond.
They're all. The downside of George Lazenby is that he only had one movie. But I could tell, oh, he's green. He has really no other acting credits before. I might just give this guy one more movie, and he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So
It's a shame. It's like the doctors for Doctor Who. Everybody has their own favorites, but then there's some guys that you just feel like didn't get the chance to fully embrace the role. Like,
whether it was the time or the writing or not everything shaken out.
I had a conversation with someone who was a Doctor Who fan recently. We were talking about Eccleston. And, like, he only has one season. But, like, he's really, really damn good in that season. But
for real.
He has to kind of be... He has to be gone by the end of that season because he's, like, the reintroduction of the Doctor. And you have to kind of, like, explain the situation that the Doctor regenerates and stuff. But, like, dude, I would have loved to see at least one more season with him. Because he was, like, an angry Doctor. And you don't get that a lot. They tried to do that with Capaldi, but it's just not the same. But, okay.
Where were we? Video games.
Video games.
The Last of Us. We're at the 30-minute mark now.
It's time to get on topic, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about part 2 of part 1 of The Last of Us. So we played up to last show, which you should go back and check out because it's great. Also, shout out to our new listeners. Ton of new listeners. Really appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for sticking around.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I was supposed to do at the beginning of the show.
I forgot to, so that's...
No, it's okay. Last of Us Part 1, the first show on The Last of Us, we played all the way up to Pittsburgh. I really, really enjoyed the first playthrough. Second playthrough, Michael, this was a longer section. I think you timed it once again on the ending of our play session here dead perfectly because I think I texted you that I hated you. Once again, though, the cliffhanger was dead on. Good on you, Michael. Your timing on this is perfect.
Dead on. Good.
Da 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 da. Hey. We're gonna get like copyright struck for that. Somehow somebody copyrighted that little tune. No, we played up to Pittsburgh. This section we played up to winter. We played through the remainder of the beginning of the game, fall, and then up to winter. Pittsburgh. Michael. I always said that very southern. Michael. Michael, this is a hell of an introduction to Pittsburgh. This whole initial combat sequence when you get ambushed on the road. You know, we had this nice, peaceful conversation with Ellie last time. With Ellie in the backseat of the truck, and we're having this like really good character stuff. Pittsburgh, for the most part, is very combat heavy. This is a combat heavy section of this game.
It's the longest combat section of this game. Yeah, by far, from if I'm remembering, like even the last bit right. Pittsburgh is very long. It's very tense because it has to be. It's showing you how bad everything outside of these like sort of exclusion zones have gotten and how far humanity has sort of fallen and how desperate they've gotten. My favorite thing, I've forgotten about how desperate Pittsburgh feels. It feels like a place that has gone so far where there's tension everywhere. These guys are all starting to turn on each other and there's less people coming in, less people to rob from, so there's less food. And that the desperation across that entire area is so well done. It's so well fed into the environment.
You know, when you ally yourself with murderers and killers and this, that, and the other, it's just inevitable that people are going to turn on you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're allying yourself with people who are killing people and committing all these atrocities, they're just going to do that to you when it's convenient. Like, these are not honorable people. And yeah, you get that vibe that all these people are together, but it's like it's on a shoestring, right? Things are still falling apart, even though they form their own little clique. It's not like they're going to make it.
The only thing uniting these people right now is that they want to kill you, and they want to kill a couple that is also seen around this area. Like, you get word that they're chasing down 2 sets of tourists, is what they call them.
it's almost like the only thing uniting them is their like hatred and their preying upon others, which is very like common in groups of when you meet people who are like in these groups that are committing atrocities and this, that, and the other. Like the main drive that keeps them focused is just their hatred of others. And then when you take away the others, they just turn on themselves because the hatred is always there, right?
Yes.
So like we see that in the real world with like terrorist groups and fascist regimes and this, that, and the other. Without an other to hate, they just turn on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, you are right. This is a super, super combat heavy sequence, but I think the story is more in the environment and the little dialogue you hear from the people you're dealing with in Pittsburgh than anything that actually happens in the bulk of this section.
And sort of like the quiet moments that play out between you and Ellie.
Yeah, there was some like really rough stuff in the ward, like written on like whiteboards and stuff. Like if you start doing like universe building stuff, you start reading.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's dark.
Yeah.
And there's like these little like corner sections that you don't even have to go to as a player. I was going to them because I was looking for supplies, where you just find like some pretty horrific scenes just off in the side. Like you just realize how bad this place is. You know, the initial ambush, which I really like this scene because it shows how dangerous Joel is. Because one thing as a player, you kind of forget how dangerous Joel is.
And he makes like a little allusions to some of the stuff that he's like been through and has happened. Like there's a really powerful exchange where I was like, have you been through this before? And Joel says, I've been on both sides.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I've been on both sides. So it's implied that he has ambushed people and been ambushed. And like, also like, because the game tries to weight, I talked about this a lot last episode, because the game tries to weight violence so much, the concept that Joel has killed this many people is kind of a perception on him that he is a very dangerous man.
Mm-hmm.
And like even in this ambush, they have them dead to rights. You crash into a store, you're surrounded, and the fact that Joel is able to kill this many people and like brutally...
You start this section with a quick time event of a guy busting your face through a frozen display of food and is lowering your head into one of the sharp, jagged spiked glass things popping out. And you just have to tap it out, and then I think you like
bash
throw him into
his
that.
head. Well, and also like we talked about some of the melee sections, like when you throw somebody against the wall, and then Joel just puts his foot through the head, and you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, and Ellie's really like
Ellie's reacting to all those moments too, like Jesus,
because Joel just kind of brutalizes people. It's one thing I have not. I was planning on watching the show after I finish this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pedro Pascal is a great actor. From my perspective right now, not having watched the show, he doesn't really have the same brutality,
the physicality
that Joel has. Maybe the show is different. Maybe he's great in it. But one thing about the game, I think right now, when I picture Joel, is that he has this like built up, just brutal capability behind a man who's kind of trying to still fight for his soul a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he lets it out, it's just nasty. Like I said, you just are just fucking people up, you know? Like, you know, you talked about throwing a brick into a guy's face and how that feels. It's like, this is a dude who rounds a corner, throws a brick into a dude's face, and then beats him to death with a board. I mean, that's pretty rough. A lot of this sequence, I
love how like the push and pull of these conflicts, especially playing on hard mode, you're regulated to the stealth a lot of times. Combat feels like a cat and mouse game when especially it's just you and like two others. Is how do I get to them before they get to me? Predator and prey stuff, and the way this game handles like the dynamic shift between you're the aggressor and you're on the defense is really cool how it plays out.
For how I play it, and now I'm playing on normal because this is my first time playing the game. It's about when to initiate the violence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like I stealth around, I kind of watch the patterns of where people are hanging out, and then it's like, okay, I got a couple of guys, you know, stacked up over there. Molotov cocktail probably would take out 2 of them. And then I can shoot this guy over here, and then we'll go get this last guy. And so
you're
like
hurting
there's
the crowd basically to a point where you can.
But then
get
once the
drop on.
violence goes off, things just go off the rails. Because like I will say, enemies are very dangerous in this game.
Mhm.
And so it's like once the violence starts, it's just like a killing frenzy. And like that's one thing that I think fits the vibe and the idea of this game, which is the concept that violence is so heavy and so out of control and takes a burden upon everybody. But like this section in particular, when you initiate some of these fights, it's just nasty. Especially because at this point you're getting a lot of the toolkit. So you're getting like the nail bomb. You're getting the Molotov. The nail bomb is nasty.
I love the nail bomb.
The nail bomb will that's like my go-to initiate an ambush with it. Because you toss that thing between a couple of people, it'll kill most of them. And if it don't kill them, it'll like put them in like a wounded state.
Or at least scare them to where
and then you just come running around the corner with a bat. And you're just like, Jesus, if I was these guys, I'd be running too.
Man, I love the animation. It feels great every time when you're charging and you hit the melee button when you have a weapon. Because Joel, middle of the run, will just like swing it. You could almost see it play out in slow motion of just crack the sound design on those hits. So good. We talked about it
especially when you start getting more like bladed weapons.
Oh,
bladed weapons in this game feels like when you get the axe.
Yeah.
Just burying an axe in some dude's collarbone.
That machete too.
Yeah, it's
you
just
got
like
that. Just...
and you just feel like you're like, oh my God. Like that guy is done. You know? This section is great for like the world building, the universe building, there's a lot of just sections in which we're just moving around, dealing with combat sections, because obviously Pittsburgh is in a bad shape. We're learning about kind of the fall of the Pittsburgh zone. I have been to Pittsburgh. I spent some time there not that long ago. I really enjoy Pittsburgh as a city, and it was kind of cool to see some of the landmarks that I've been to. From this perspective and stuff. Also, you have the iconic yellow bridges outside of Pittsburgh. That's like your main objective. And
that's what they actually look like. That's not just Naughty Dog's yellow signposting.
Yeah, Naughty Dog went and painted the bridges to match the game.
The players need to know this is where you go.
This is getting out of control. On my way to work
There's
now.
Yellow paint in real life. What is this?
Every time I go down the highway, there was yellow paint telling me which direction to go.
That's just lazy city design.
It really is lazy. You know, back in my day, I didn't need yellow paint to tell me which side of the road to drive on. I had a book. It was called a map. We should start gatekeeping public transportation.
Too much signposting. These people don't know how to get good at traveling.
Oh, you have to have street signs? I used to navigate this city by the sun. But no, dude, this section is great. Little like universe building stuff, like with the prom like celebration that was going on at the hotel. And you walk in and it's like the prom, like 2013, hanging up still. And you kind of realize like how sudden a lot of this stuff started.
We know because we played that section.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it really, moments like that make it seem like this wasn't an isolated thing. This sort of happened everywhere all at once.
And like that's terrifying, right? Like the concept that everything went to shit at one time. And it's we talked about that opening. I still think that opening is one of the best in games. Also, man, like great progression of story about the fall of Pittsburgh being told by just the universe. Like there's never like a character that you meet that tells you what happened in the zone.
You get little notes here and there.
But you kind of learn it by going around, right? You go to like the food distribution building. And there was like spray painted on all the walls, like graffiti and stuff of like people talking about like they were not getting food rations, so they eventually they rioted and they took over the food bank thing. You see all like the security checkpoints and how they had kind of like there was obviously like a slow progression of people just getting more and more angry at what was going on. And eventually they started taking over the the checkpoints, and like even the main protagonist or antagonist in this section, which is that stupid Humvee, is just like, hey, one of the things they left behind was this damn Humvee, and now these assholes got this Humvee they're driving around killing people with.
That was your problem.
Yeah, which is, but like, it tells this story. There was like a room that I wanted to talk about, just off of one of the the section where Ellie mans the sniper rifle for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Great section. Ellie is like providing sniper cover for you. Because also, Joel is eventually realizing like he's going to need to trust this kid more and more because the extreme environment they are in inside of Pittsburgh. Well, there was just like a mob of people trying to kill him. There's this little room off to one of the building sides that's very optional. You don't have to go in it. But there was a bunch of like the soldiers hung up by their arms and like in chairs, and looks like they burned them to death in the room. And you just walk in and it's just like, oh shit. And like there's no reason for you to be in that room necessarily, but it's just like these little story moments you just stumble across. There's another section
I didn't even go to that side at all during that fight. I was up in the second level on the right side near where the office building was, because I was just like drawing people to me and doing that. And it was a really cool bit I posted on the TikTok where a guy with a Molotov cocktail was going, and in a quick burst, I shot the Molotov cocktail out of their hands and killed two of them in one shot. I was like, man, that's so good.
When you hit those guys as they're throwing and it falls at their feet and they burn, nasty. Nasty.
The scream, like, we can go on and on about the sound design of this game forever because it's so
well, I think this is
good.
also the section to talk about the combat. There's a great section in the hotel in which, I know I'm jumping back a little bit, well, Joel falls down an elevator shaft into the basement. And in this basement, obviously a bunch of spores and stuff. But like, as you're trying to get your way back out of the basement to catch back up to Ellie, like, they do a great job with the human on human conflict. The infected conflict is always such a mixture of like clickers, regular infected, and bloated. And the problem is like they interact with each other in such a great way. We talked about last time how like regular infected are not really as big of a threat, but they alert the clickers. So like trying to kill the regular infected who can fucking see, but not without triggering the clickers who are a bigger problem.
Yes.
And then with this one, there's a damn bloater those things are just nightmares to deal with.
Like, they were a boss fight and now they can just be in a section.
I hit that thing with a nail bomb and a Molotov cocktail to try to kill it. Because what I did with this section is I tossed the nail bomb at the bloater near some clickers, and when they hear the sound, they move towards it, which is like the advantage of the nail bomb. And then they blew up. The bloater didn't go down, and because it was like thrown, they didn't know where I was at, right? So I was able to come around the side and then toss a Molotov cocktail and hit the bloater. But like, dude,
that bloater is the scariest part of
he's a tough enemy
early
in general.
section.
Like, he's scary every time those things show up.
I managed to not even, in my successful attempt, because I died a couple times from hard.
I also died in this section a couple times on normal.
Yeah. I did manage to, like, bait him to the lower part while I was able to navigate my way back up and just make a sprint for that door to get through it. So I didn't even engage him in a fight in the last attempt. I was just like, I'm going to lure them all here, and then I'm just going to sprint down this hallway and get out of here.
Here's the crazy thing. I didn't even know he was down there on my first attempt until I got to the generator, you know? And so I had killed a couple of clickers with my shank. And then I came around to where the generator was. I started the generator, and I hear something coming, and Joel just goes, oh, fuck. And as it walked into the room, and now I'm in this room with this little generator and multiple affected because it woke everybody up. And like, I didn't even know it was damn in there, and it just fucked me up, dude. It killed me bad.
The first time I remember playing this game, there was a really cool bit where I didn't know he was in there either. And it's so dark in there where I just had my shotgun out. This was years ago when I was playing it, but I still remember this vividly, where I just the shotgun muzzle, the light of that made me see it coming towards me. And I just freaked out because I was like, oh my God, it's just coming right toward me. The only light I have in here is the barrel of my shotgun. And that's just showing enemies around me. And I'm like, oh my God, that's terrifying.
I think I fired like 2 pistol shots into it before it grabbed me. Because it was just like, oh fuck, I'm not prepared. Like, I'm not prepared to deal with this. Dude, this whole like
the worst freeze frame deaths, probably the second worst freeze frame deaths that year, because the award winner for most gruesome deaths in 2013 goes to that Tomb Raider reboot.
the one I know which one you're talking about. It's the one when you hit the rebar with her in the neck. Do you know that one?
I know the one. I think it's the same animation where you hit the tree in the river, where she's like grasping onto the
and she's like trying to pull it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's nightmare fuel. Like, I love those games. Like, I love the Tomb Raider
maybe a
survival.
little too intense with the death screens in the first game. I'm like, holy
That
cow!
first, they toned it down
yeah.
in the other two,
Uh-huh.
but in that first one, there was like some death, and they. I will say that like The Last of Us kind of like cuts it real fast, like the blow to ripping your head off, your face off.
Right when it gets to the point where it's about to be like really
It cuts.
Yeah, you see like your eyes start to go back and the skin start to tear when it does.
Then it cuts with the
which
Tomb
I think
Raider
is
one.
more effective because
Yeah.
like your brain is much worse than the things could actually be. But
It reminds me of like the Dead Space death in the second game, I believe, with the enemy that like pops out your neck and then starts walking around with your body. You know that one?
I do not know this one.
It's an enemy that takes over like your body, and so like it rips your head off, and then it takes over your body, and you watch your body minus your head walk away, now infected. It's like
That sounds hilarious, but I know in context.
in context it is not. But I will say the Tomb Raider one's rough because it kind of lingers on it for a little bit. Like, it makes you watch it. It's like, Jesus, I don't want to see this young woman go through this. But dude, I know I'm kind of breezing through this, not in like in order of sequence.
Yeah,
But this is
gameplay
more.
here, yeah.
This is so much more combat focused at this point.
like we'll touch on some story stuff, but yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is, I think this is more like showing that Ellie and Joel are starting to work together. They're starting to have like a unit here.
How do you feel about the bits where I like them, but I can kind of see the argument that like the tone changes here between like when it gets really intense, the really intense bits, and then moments where Ellie pulls out like a joke book and is flipping through. I like that stuff because it feels real of how someone like at the age of 14 will try to break that tension of, okay, that was a really intense moment, I'm gonna pull out this joke book
It's
that I got.
consistent for Ellie because Ellie is kind of like one thing that's like a very common thing for her is when something intense and terrible happens, she's like, oh my God. And then she just kind of like, it's almost like she has a very short memory on it, if that makes any sense. Like, she's very quickly,
this is the world she grew up in. This is the world she knows.
She doesn't know to be traumatized by it. It's just life is like this. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I kind of think it fits very well for her because she's just kind of a person who's like, but we made it through. You know, it's like this terrible thing happened, but like last time,
And I think
I always make it through.
It is building because it is revealed that it is weighing her down because we have an incredible scene later on once we get to fall that shows that she is just done with the world that she's in and she wants to like simpler times. Like the weight of the guilt of the mission is weighing on her. We'll get to that when we get to that. But
I think you realize that she has a lot of coping mechanisms.
yeah, absolutely. And her making jokes, or I love the bit where it pays off because there's like a bit when you get in Bill's place where she tries to whistle and can't do it, and then she finally gets it. She's like, yes, I know how to whistle.
There's a great scene, like off one of the things, there's like a fashion postal, and she walks up to the guard and she's like, I thought you guys had food back then. And Joel goes, we did. And she goes, why is she so skinny? And he's like, well, just because we had the food didn't mean they wanted to eat it. And she's like, why? And he goes, for looks and stuff. And she's like, that's stupid. And it's just like, but it's just like, she doesn't understand these concepts because that's not the life she grew up
There's
in.
no social engineering or stuff like that in this world.
She's like, if you have food, you eat it. Because you might not always have food. You know, it's just like a very straightforward thing for her. And like I really love those little moments. Like this whole section is like I says very combat focused, but I think it's necessary to show more Joel and Ellie as like a unit and how they're operating.
And there is a flip on that once we get to the bit where it plays out almost like every other combat encounter, except the enemy grabs you and then forces you underwater, and there's a really intense bit with like the gun, and you're trying to hit the button to get the gun, and then you see someone pick it up, and it's Ellie, and he just shoots that dude off of you, and it's the moment like the camera cuts to her, she's holding the gun with like both hands and just looking at you with this face of, she says, really fucking killed that guy, huh?
I love that they didn't do like she didn't cry, she didn't like break down, because it's like no, she has been exposed to so much violence. Yes, this is probably the first time she's actually killed somebody, and it is the first time. She says it's the first time she killed somebody. But when you're like already so desensitized to violence, that step towards being the one that commits it is a lot easier if you've not been around violence your whole life, right? Like if you've not been around fighting your whole life, the first time you throw a punch feels weird. If you've been around violence your whole life, it feels like, well, this is what people do in this situation. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's a logic jump there for you. I hit my microphone. That's a joy for you, listener.
That's a joy for me later.
Fuck your headphones.
Thanks for that. 5616. Freaking.
I threw a punch and hit my microphone. But no, I really like how they played that. She's like, "Oh my god, I fucking killed that guy, didn't I?" And it's like, but she's not like like scared or anything. She's just like, "Oh, I finally did it." And Joel,
it's both. Ashley Johnson, fantastic performance. Yeah, we commended
Troy
Troy Baker last time. This is Ashley Johnson's time to shine. Holy cow!
I would say that she grows her performance because the nature of the character is more outstanding the longer the game goes.
Absolutely. Just a great sense of shock of the moment, but also like it's something that just came naturally to her. So much emotions all bundled together on like just the facial animation, the voice performance. It's
top of the line.
Top of the line performances here. Like absolutely.
Like,
and the fact that she immediately goes to that, she uses that moment as like a proving ground for her, because that's when Joel finally is able to trust her with the sniper rifle. So it's a character moment for Joel there, and Ellie being like, "Does this mean I can have a gun? Do you finally trust me with a gun now that I know how to use it? I did save your life, you know. You gotta owe me. You can give me one of your guns. You have like 3 pistols right there.
You're walking around with a whole arsenal." I think it's played so well. I'm just very impressed by it in general. I love that sequence in particular. It's a brutal scene, but like I love how she doesn't like break down crying or anything. She's just like, "Oh, I finally did it." It's almost like it's inevitable. If you live in this world, you're going to kill someone. And she's like, "Oh, I finally did it."
Like, oh, yep.
And so I think it makes so much sense. It's so well thought out. The big thing here is as we're dodging the Humvee of death here.
That's a good way to put it.
There's a great sequence in which you like first come across it when you're having to dodge it throughout the street, where it's like, this is in most video games, a Humvee with a 50 cal is the thing you hit with an RPG and you keep moving. In this game, it's like a damn nightmare because it's like
death sentence.
Yeah, you're like, what's your little bolt action rifle gonna do to that?
And it just doesn't just appear out of nowhere. You see it like when you're
it
walking
kills
under
the
the
other
underpass.
couple.
It's on the overpass. It's what kills the other couple. I love that bit where they spend the entire time chasing down this other couple. You hear it in conversations. We have 2 groups of tourists. We have a couple and the 2 in the truck.
Yeah.
And like the 2 in the truck killed basically our entire guy. So they're priority 1.
Because those guys will fuck people up.
Basically. So you just see them get done down. There's a bit where you're hiding where you see them just unceremoniously get shot in the street. They go over, they pat them down and just go, nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can say I think they look at their shoes too.
Yeah, he
like,
says
expecting
something about the girl's shoes. He's like, the shoes are shit. And it's just like, they're just killing people on the off chance you might have something.
They had nothing that they took. They spent their entire afternoon chasing down this couple and got nothing for it.
It just shows also it's the desperation, but also
Yep.
it's the lack of the callousness. It's not even about killing that couple. It's about just killing people to keep yourself focused on something. Like
it was
evil with evil intent.
At first, they were killing people to try to get items to survive. It's not that anymore.
Now it's barbaric. It's what I talked about at the beginning, right? We see this in the real world with these barbaric like practices of like terrorist groups and like fascist groups and stuff like that. They have to have an outsider to hate, because if you don't hate the outsider, you just hate yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to fight among each other. So it's not necessarily that they needed the stuff on them. They just needed something to go kill so they don't turn on each other. And it's just like, and it's like I said, they just killed them. They just left them in the street. It's like, damn, they didn't even have anything. And it's just like, you realize how far these guys have fallen. One thing I think is very interesting, there is some really heavy implications in the like the graffiti and stuff like that. There was like some straight up like sexual violence implications in some of the graffiti. And I think it is interesting, and this might just be me reading into it, I don't know. These guys in this thing are all men. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you kind of wonder like who these people, what this society and group is now. It's like, it kind of implies an extra layer of like evil there.
Yeah, and the female enemies you do come across in this section are clickers. Yeah,
they are not. There is no raiders or anything that are women, which is not consistent with everywhere else, because in other sections you'll fight groups that have men and women. At least I believe so.
I'm
not sure you do, actually. That might be, so that could be one of two things. One, it could be like a subtle story kind of thing, or two, it's just like, hey, these are the enemy designs we have. There's also an argument to be made that it's probably a tougher sell with how violent the violence is.
Yeah.
That doing that to a woman playing as a male character.
This was also back in 2013. We will talk about it next time in the Wolverine trailer. That Wolverine
don't give a fuck about gender. He's just stabbing you in the neck. When I watched that gameplay footage and there was like a female Reaver soldier that he rips in half, I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, Logan. And like, it was just like, we've reached true equality, ladies and gentlemen. Logan will stab both genders, any genders.
E for everyone.
These claws are E for everyone. Everyone gonna catch these hands.
But yeah, back in 2013, I don't know if that was like,
I don't know. Yeah, I might be reading too much into it, but I think some of the universe building, like graffiti and stuff, does imply some really heavy stuff, and I do wonder if that maybe is the implication there. Like, this whole section is really like combat focused until we run into our first like group of survivors that we've met in a really long time, which is Henry and Sam. I really love the way they're introduced, because it's introduced in a similar way that other enemies have jumped us, where it's just like instantly like a brawl. And then obviously we have a great moment where Ellie realizes Sam's there, and
like, there's a kid,
and the other guy, and it's almost like this cool like de-escalation moment where it's like, I've got a kid, you got a kid, we're gonna break off this down. Like, we're gonna break off, and he's like, and Henry goes like, you punch hard. He goes, I was trying to kill you. Like, Joel's like, I was trying to kill you. And we find out that Henry and Sam have been traveling through Pittsburgh with a group of other people that got scattered by these, I don't even know what you would call them, or marauders or whatever you want to call them.
Hunters is my phrase for them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so they are trying to get out. They are also attempting to contact and join the Fireflies. But really the
mutual goal, you're both going to the same place. We're going to try to find the Fireflies together. And Henry and Sam have been held out in this building because they got a good look at the one of the doors that they have to like go and send people out to look first.
Kind of like the
Yeah.
walls that the Boston quarantine zone had.
Yeah.
They had them here too, and this is the one that blocks the Pittsburgh Bridge.
And even comments there's like less and less people. As time goes on, their numbers get more thin, so it's becoming easier to get out. And now that they have 4 of them instead of just the 2 of them, their odds are looking pretty good to escaping right now. So it's now or never here. We can combine our forces and get out of here tonight. And Joel's like, "That's good to point as any. Let's do this."
I love this is basically a chance for us to see someone else's kind of family dynamic in contrast to Ellie and Joel. It's also a chance to see kind of like,
is Ellie letting her guard down and acting like someone her age, and see, because she has someone her age to play off to. There's a really good bit here, I love it, where Ellie said, they're asking like, "Oh, how old are you?" Ellie goes 14, and Sam goes, "Yeah, me too." And then Henry goes, "Yeah, like you're 14." He's like, "I'm close enough." Like,
yeah, I love that sequence.
Hey, be cool.
And one thing also to note is Henry is his older brother.
Yeah.
So he's not a father figure, but his older brother. And I do love that. That's a very older brother thing to do. It's like, "Oh, you're 14 now?" Right in front of the girl. I love seeing Ellie and Sam being able to, like, you can tell. And even Henry comments on it. He's like, "I haven't seen him smile like that in a long time."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, these kids are finally getting to be a little bit kids. And we see that a little bit more going forward. We also get to see, like, Henry is also kind of doing what Joel has been doing. But he's trying to, like, teach Sam, like, how we operate. Because Henry is younger than Joel significantly. He was born he was a young child when everything went down.
Yeah, so he's in his early 20s at this point.
Well, we talked about that. Joel is probably, in 40s?
40s, pushing 50.
Pushing 50. He's an older man. But Sam was, like, born just before the infection, basically. He talks about being like 5 when there was like barbecues and stuff going on. So he has a vague memory of life before this.
Which is very enticing to someone looking for the Fireflies, because there's that nostalgia there growing up in this world, and we can bring things back to the way things used to be. I think with the younger...
When the world falls apart when you're young.
You don't remember the bad.
You don't remember the bad. Right, and I think there's possibly like a millennial feeling of like understanding to this, like, you know, being young when things like 9/11 happened and stuff. Yeah, I was in elementary school. You have like this understanding, like, life was both like the best it was for you, and it was pre the bad thing happening, right? So like he was like a young child, so life is always great when you're young. Well, most of the time, and then you add on top of that this understanding that the world fell apart before I, got exposed to what was the negatives of the life before that. So he's like extremely nostalgic about life before the fall. While Joel was older and he kind of knew that like not everything was perfect back then. So he has a little bit more of
he doesn't have a desire to get things back. He has a desire to survive.
He also kind of understands that it's not coming back. Like, when you're young, you're like, maybe I can get back to this moment. And Joel's like, no, you're not. We're not getting back to this. We have to make this work. It's just a different vibe. It's a different mindset.
You have this like new people going to try to join the Fireflies because they believe in that.
They believe the dream that the Fireflies are selling. Well, Joel's like old enough to understand that the dream's not real in his mind.
Yeah.
But I do love how Henry is also like teaching Sam the rules and how we operate. We don't carry anything. Like there's a moment where he picks up a toy in a toy store he's looking at, and Henry's like, we don't carry anything that we don't need.
I knew to look out for this moment too, because he grabs he picks up a little toy robot and then sets it down in the middle, and there's a bit where you see Ellie walk over to it and it's still there. She's not doing anything, but you turn your back and then turn back around and the robot's not there anymore.
Our favorite little pickpocket.
I knew to look for that. There's also a couple of really fun Easter eggs in the board game store too. Did you notice the Uncharted board game?
Yeah, I did see that.
And there's a Jack and Daxter board game.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That was like tucked in the corner. Like,
that's cool.
As what Sony's been doing to Jack and Daxter, just tucking it away in the corner, forgetting that it exists.
For some reason,
I see you, Jack and Daxter.
God damn it! Bring back Jack and Daxter.
I love Jack and Daxter, man.
I feel like you were either a Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, or Sly Cooper guy. Everybody had one.
I was a Jack and Daxter guy.
I was Ratchet and Clank. I like Ratchet and Clank. I like Sly Cooper a lot too.
I never played Sly Cooper.
I've played the first Sly Cooper. I think I played the second one too. But Ratchet and Clank, I really liked the Ratchet and Clank games.
Played demos for those and those were fun. Anyway,
but I do love that. One of my favorite things about Ellie is you're constantly stealing shit, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'll take this." But like we do the same thing as Joel, so it fits the game.
Did you take the? I didn't go back and check the grave. Is that bear still there?
Oh
my god,
that would be funny. Oh my god, just taking everything.
Free real estate.
I really, really enjoy this section. I enjoy the breakout too, like trying to get out. So you wait till night, and there's this great spot where you basically like, I killed some people in stealth, and then kind of attacked the gate. And it's just like, dude, it felt so good.
I love that bit where you and Henry just go up and like 1, 2, 3 and just choke out.
It's like
those
Splinter Cell double agent when you do that and you both choke them out at the same time.
Yeah, great.
Oh, it's so good. I like also like when you finally do get out, we get like the big chase with the Humvee that chases us off the bridge. It's a great sequence because you have to jump. Oh,
there's a bit where you're trying to climb up the ladder. The ladder breaks after all of them escape, and then Henry, Sam, and tells Ellie, like, we gotta go, we gotta leave him behind. Ellie jumps down with you, and she said, I'm not leaving without you.
I love that sequence. I also love that, like, Henry does abandon you, but, like, even though Joel kind of gives him shit for it, there's, like, a very quick understanding. It's like, yeah, but you would have done the same.
Literally, that's what he says. Like, you would have done the same, and he's like, you're right.
Because, and, like, I like that Henry is, like, he's very much a more idealistic person. He's a little bit more like hopeful than Joel is, but he's not naive. He's like a lesser game would have made him like naive.
He's playing by the rules of the game.
Yeah, he knows the rules
that was set. Like, someone falls behind, you leave behind, or you die. Those are the rules. That's the world that like, I've grown up in.
Just because he is a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more like lighthearted as a person, it doesn't mean he's stupid. He still understands that, like, I can't stay there for you. We all would have died. You were in a spot where I assumed you were going to die. I'm sorry. I have to go. That's how this works. And I really love the writing in this game because it does treat these situations in such in great ways like that. I love it. And I love that Ellie jumps down. She's like, nope, I can get away, but I'm not leaving Joel because me and Joel are a team.
Really intense chase sequence here as the Humvee is chasing you through buildings and through the bridge that you've been working towards. Again, that sight lining that Naughty Dog loves to do. It's in Uncharted. It's here where you have a goal that you're getting to and you're going to do everything you can to get there. That bridge, you finally made it and it's cut off halfway through. That thing is coming to you. What does Ellie do? She says, he's like, you can't swim. And she says, bet, and jumps in the river. So you have to go get her if you want to save her. She knows how critical she is to this. She is the mission.
Yeah.
So risking her life to get Joel out of that situation, she realizes she has all the negotiating power here, which comes into play in interesting ways in this section too.
Yeah, yeah.
Just jumping in the river, and it's like, he's just going, oh, damn it, and then jumps in the river.
Well, and also
after.
she's like, what choice do I have? Like, they're going to kill us. Like, I have certain death right behind me, and I have a chance to die in front of me. I'm going to play the odds.
Yep.
And luckily, you do live. You're pulled out by Henry and Sam. Once again, it shows Henry and Sam are not bad people. They have a chance to help you, and they do. But Henry's like, I'm playing by the rules. Like you said, you had a great point there. Henry plays by the rules in which this universe operates on.
He just has a little more empathy
than the average person.
Yeah. And what does empathy get you?
Gets you fucking killed.
It gets you killed.
Yeah. Having a soul and having a heart in this universe ends with you die.
Yep.
That's like the message of the story here. And we'll get there in a second. I fucking... Okay, there's a great sequence on the beach here where you go investigate a boat. Ellie...
love the background story of this section. It's my favorite time they do this.
Goddamn heart.
With Captain Ish and setting up this base here. It's so well done. It's so well told, and it's so heartbreaking. I
love there's a section where I will say there's a lighthearted section in which they're on the boat going through it, and Ellie goes, "Did you have a boat?" and Joel's like, "Yeah, I had a yacht." She's like, "Really?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No, I didn't have a boat." Because she just assumes everybody had everything back in the day. And I just love that section where Joel's like, "No, I didn't have a boat."
That was a great bit here.
But so we are going through the sewer section. Civvy 11 added to the account. That's a YouTube reference just for Eric's fandom. This section I have established I'm a father. And I have a thing about violence and things that involve kids. I struggle with it in media in general. It's not that I feel like stories shouldn't deal with this. I feel like it's a tough thing for me personally. It always has been, but the older I've gotten, the harder it gets. Mm-hmm. I saw this scene coming from a mile away, and that made it worse. So when you get to this little safe zone that's been set up in the sewer section, you realize that they've actually had like a decent thing going. Like they've got showers, they've got bunks, they found
a way to collect clean water by siphoning the rain as it like comes down. There's a hole that leads to the sky, so they're like, clean water from the sky is we have like a little filtration system here that we can use for like drinking water and showers and everything like that. Like,
they did it. They found a way. And there's these boards up everywhere that's like, these are the rules we operate by. Because clearly they have figured out how to make this happen. And as you're going through, there's a section in which there's a school. And then this leads to there is infected down here. So you know things have gone bad. There's a section in which we trigger an alarm by mistake. And it's actually really great from a gameplay point of view because we end up on the side of a gate with Sam and Henry ends up on the side of the gate with Ellie. And it separates the two of us. You can always tell that something bad has happened already because obviously no one's inside that whole section where all this stuff is. Something has happened. As we are moving through this section, great section, there's a new combat gun we get. We get this like shorty double shot shotgun thing that's so good. Great. They give you a shit ton of ammo for it so you can just fuck up infected with it.
We get two guns in this whole section here. We get that and we get the El Diablo.
With the El Diablo, it's just like a one-shot revolver that has a scope on it.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking good.
Ooh, it's the Red Knight of this game.
Oh, it's so good. So good. It's my favorite gun.
All my upgrade points is going to the El Diablo.
But I want to kind of talk about the in-universe storytelling that's done down here. So obviously things have gone bad, right? Those clickers that are infected down here. Those clickers, which Joel does make a comment. He's like, that means they've been infected for a while. Mm-hmm. There's this section in which you get to a room in which there's a letter in there and there's a dead body from like a guard. And then there's bodies with a blanket over them. And if you read the letter states basically that the infected got in, you don't know how. We will find out later how. It's told to us later. Someone left the door open. It's a stupid fucking mistake, right? It's the mistake you don't make, but that's what brings down human operations is usually dumb shit.
Yep.
And there's a moment where the guy's like, hey, I'm in here. There's infected banging on the doors. I got some of the kids with me. If something goes bad, I won't let them suffer. And there's the bodies under the blanket, and then written on the floor just says they didn't suffer. And Joel just goes, Jesus fucking Christ. And that's the shit that breaks me, man. Mm-hmm. I can watch a lot of things will fucking fuck me up in a lot of ways that don't affect me. That subtle storytelling moment was just like, it's just like, Jesus, what's the purpose of this? And you see why people like Joel exist now. Because if you're exposed to stuff like that, why would you care? Right? If that's the world you live in, why the fuck would you care? And it's such a great example of Naughty Dog's in-universe storytelling. Where you saw it coming. Like, I saw it coming, dude. You walk in, you see the school, and you see the playground drawings on the floor, and you're like, oh, they're not here anymore, so I know something's happened. And that slow realization of just like, hey, and this is what fucking happened, man. And then you find out it all happened not because of a dramatic plot or an evil guy did something. Someone left the fucking door open.
Yep, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And I might be overly dramatic about this, but this is the shit that separates 10 out of 10 universe design and pedestrian universe design. And that's what I think of. One thing I'm so impressed about this game, and I wanted to talk about it when this section came up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love this game because of combat. The combat's good, but that's not what I love about it. I don't love about the environment design. I think it's great, but it's not what I love about it. What I love about it is the level of craftsmanship to a consistent version of a world and a consistent version of characters. This universe is told in such a consistently quality way that the more you look, the more you find. And the characters are so consistent to how they would act and how these people have been established that is the reason why this is so amazing. It's not the combat. It's not the little things. It's not the fight in a house that's so good that makes you sell on it. It's not a boss fight. Those things are in there and they're great. But it's that consistency to beating you over the head that this is how this feels and this is how this is. And also beating you over the head that this is what makes people like Joel. Because Joel is the way he is. And why Joel isn't a caricature is because he lives in a place like this. A man like this is still who he is. Why he's able to do some of the things he fucking does and why he is having the way he is because he lives in a world in which a man killed a bunch of kids to save them from a worse death because someone left a fucking door open.
Mm-hmm.
That's art, motherfucker.
Yes.
That's art. And like, I know this is like impassioned, but it was one of these moments because I got to that section. I knew it was coming. And like, when I was sitting there, I paused the game. Because I do have an issue with this. I've always struggled with this in media. It's just a personal thing. I think I have a father. I'm a father with children. Violence towards kids fucks with me. It always has. In media in general. And I sat there and I said, but this is how you sell a character. Even Joel's response, where he's like, fucking Christ. Like, even a man who's been through as much as he has been takes a second to be like, fucking hell.
It still gets to him. Despite everything,
despite the violence he has done, despite the violence he has seen, this is still like, fucking. But then you realize what he has to do, right? You put your fucking pants back on and you keep moving.
Because I gotta
live, and I have an objective I gotta do right now. I gotta get out of here.
It goes back to the very beginning in the car. They have a kid. I got a kid too.
I can't stop. I have to keep moving. And like, it's sold in those moments. And that's what makes a character like Joel so fucking good. And it's what makes a character like Ellie, who doesn't have the context of a life outside of this, so good. Like, the universe design in itself is what's selling these characters. Because if you fucking drop the ball on one of these, the whole cards fall apart if you drop the ball on one of these. Fucking cinema!
Yes.
Cinema!
You now know, it's great. You now know what makes this game special. It's not just like the writing or how the characters are done. It's not just the world. It's all of it coming together to create this world and the characters that inhabit it. These are not... They take a life outside of the page. They are not just, it's not just words written down. It's not just actors acting it out. These are fully crafted individuals in this world. And the only way you get there is if everything lines up perfectly. You could have done this moment and make it like cheap. But the build, it could have just been one note. It could have just been one note you found saying what happened. But the build up.
The build up is what sells it, man.
And I am, the one thing I wish for in the last of the show, we didn't get it. You still get this bit, and you still get like some of the background ancillary stuff in the last of the show. I wanted an episode of this. I wanted one episode to cut away, cut back, and show Captain Ish's story. We didn't get that. Instead, they decided to. They won an Emmy for this. So what do I know? They decided to make a whole like expanded background episode focusing on Bill, which is an incredible episode. It won an Emmy. It won Nick Offerman an Emmy. Congratulations to Nick Offerman. Deserved it for sure. But I was like, man, I wish we got that Captain Ish episode.
What I love about it is the cheap shit, right? Mm-hmm. You left the fucking door open. There is no grand conspiracy. Someone left the door open. Every sign says don't leave the door open, and you left the fucking door open. And it's like, that's what this universe is. And I applaud the writing staff. This was like a tough thing for me. It's a tough subject matter for me, but it sells the story, and it's not done cheap. It's done, it's earned. And simple things like this, man. That's what makes a game a 10 out of 10. That's what makes is nailing those moments.
This is one of the greats in gaming, is this game, because of how it juggles everything. Nothing comes off as cheap. Nothing comes off as unearned. It's a masterclass in how you do something.
This is how you make a AAA Game of the Year contending game.
Game of the Year winner. Sweeping Game of the Year awards that would only be bested by the time they do this again with The Last of Us Part 2.
But this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
How do you stop the default? I guess Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out in 2013. It's going to win Game of the Year. How do you beat the Grand Theft Auto? You make a Last of Us.
You make cinema. You make
art.
And like I said, then also have kick-ass gameplay on top of it. Like, to not
the cherry on top. Often it's gameplay, and the cherry on top is there was a really good story in it here. The roles have reversed somehow in a game that was made by the people who made like Uncharted,
which are great games.
Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot. Gameplay first video games. Even Uncharted, like. Being like a Hollywood movie type thing is very much like, oh, it's a popcorn flick. This is not a popcorn flick. This is a prestige drama, to the point where when they did make it a prestige drama, they won all the awards for it.
And they just kind of followed the story of the game.
Yep.
I love that there's so much. This is like the main thing I wanted to focus on down here.
Yeah.
But there's so much other great stuff. I love Sam and Joel working together. I love seeing that Henry and Ellie are working together well. I love this sequence getting out. One of my favorite things is when you do get out, you get out the door from like one of the other directions. And oh, by the way, there's another sequence I want to talk about. When you go to the school section, there's a drawing by one of the children that has a picture of the guards, and it says that our protectors
is a guard and then Captain Ish,
and then. That's the dude in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking cinema, man. Fucking rough though.
And this is all the side stuff.
This is the side stuff.
This is not acknowledged by any of the characters except for like a line here or there.
It's rough.
This is the truest form, like how far we could take like the notes in a Resident Evil sort of thing. Like we can take all these cool things, but what if we do that to like tell a full complete story arc here? It's
amazing.
It's expanding on your influences. It's taking your influences and getting the truest form of what they could possibly be. And that's what this game does so well.
So amazing.
It wears its influences on its sleeve, but it's like, what if we do that and then some
Well,
in every aspect.
What if we raise the bar every single time? When you leave, there's a great sequence that there was graffiti on the outside of that wall saying "Don't go in there infected," and you're like, "Ah, shit." I love that Ellie was like, "What the fuck?" This is a great sequence here. As we're moving through the town, a lot of story talk here, but there's also little sections where Ellie and Sam are like playing some darts. They find a dart board.
Did you go and play darts?
I did not play darts. I just watched them.
It's really funny. Joel goes up there and he aims the dart, completely misses the dartboard.
I like
because you think, oh, he's gonna nail it. Just the subverting your expectations there with the whole throwing it, and it like lands on the outside.
That's funny. I like that. I didn't do it. I just watched them. I should have done it.
There's so much. That's what makes the replayability of this game so good. Is like the little moments like that, and there's so much.
We learn more about Henry.
Stuff.
We learn about Henry. Being what he talks to Sam about what life was like. It's a great like brother sequence where he's like, "Hey, I remember Mom and them used to throw these barbecues, and I remember running around outside, and like, there's a section when you're going through and like." Ellie just like kind of like basking and like, oh, this is what life was like before. What a weird thing. This leads to a great.
Like you're lying about the ice cream trucks. That's ridiculous.
And Henry has to back Joel up and be like, no, it's a real thing. They used to go around selling ice cream trucks or selling ice cream. I love. This leads to a great combat sequence.
The sniper fight.
The sniper fight is great. One thing I love about this sequence is having to go through. I was using the smoke bombs a lot. Having to fight enemies in spots where you could fight them without having to deal with the sniper. This leads to a great sequence when you finally get to the sniper and you kill him. You now use the sniper in this great sequence to kill guys and protect Ellie and Henry and Sam. And then eventually take out the Humvee that shows up in a great sequence when you shoot the dude who's got the Molotov cocktail and it burns everybody in the Humvee. You're like, it's always that great feeling when you take on that enemy that's been chasing you the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And again, going above and beyond, like it could have just been a really intense sniper fight. The call outs that he does, like, I know you're hiding in the house.
Oh yeah, well I love
stuff like that.
Okay, so if you watch like combat footage from like Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, you realize how many times people are yelling shit at each other. I was watching something where there was some footage of guys fighting in this house, and they're straight up like talking shit to each other. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And like people are yelling this shit as they're fighting each other. Because like it's human nature. Your adrenaline's going, you're hyping yourself up to do this horrible thing.
Kill or be killed.
So you're just yelling horrific shit. I remember there was a video that came out of early in the war where they were yelling these things. They'll yell because in Ukraine, a lot of them speak the same version of Russian. They're yelling over the radios at each other and talking shit, and it sounded like a Halo 3 lobby. Where like, I am going to kill you. I'm gonna do like they're talking shit about people's moms. And
I was about to make that joke, but apparently that's
like,
a real thing.
They were saying some shit, dude. And like the top comment on this TikTok video was like, I can't believe these people are saying this stuff. And I'm like, they're hyped up to kill each other, and you're like, they're saying some mean stuff. I'm like, lady, they're trying to kill each other. Like the horrible thing they said about that guy's mom is not the worst thing that's happening right now. It was a very American safe in your home opinion where I'm like, lady, that the use of bad language is not the part that you should be concerned about. It's the fact they're trying to murder each other.
Where's the report button on this lobby?
Oh my god, it sounded like a really bad Halo 3 lobby where they're just talking shit over the radios at each other. There is when you finally take out the Humvee, the infected show up, and there's this great sequence when you just see them coming, and there's a sequence in which Henry and Sam are grabbed by a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot one off, and Ellie shoots the other one off of the other guy. And then you get the fuck out of Dodge. You get into the house, you get out of there.
You start to try to pick them off one by one because they're slowly coming in waves. And there's a point where just like a ton of them just come over the hill and start charging.
Looks like something out of like 28 Days Later.
Yes.
reminds me of that scene when in 28 Days Later when they attack the house.
If they had Days Gone's tech here with the
oh my god,
waves,
millions of them. Yeah. But this is a good video game.
Shots fired.
Days Gone fans are a very special kind of fan.
We haven't played that. I don't know if we can fully do it.
Yeah, but the kinds of people that defend it so vehemently have really turned me off of that game. Also, I like taking a little bit of shots. Controversy creates cash.
If you're a fan of Days Gone, right into State of the Save.
Somebody tried to get us to play that on the RPG somehow. I don't think that's an RPG.
That's right. Someone wrote in with Days Gone.
I don't want to be mean to you, bro, but what the fuck, dude? What are you doing with your
I was
life?
like, all right, add to the list. I guess I didn't consider it an RPG.
Spoiler alert: it's not going to be Days Gone.
Could you imagine if we went right from this to Days Gone?
Fucking hell.
Another post-apocalyptic zombie game, but this guy has a motorcycle.
And yeah. Okay. I don't feel like we'll feel the same. We get to our objective, which is this lighthouse, where we were supposed to kind of be the rally point for Henry's group, even though Henry's kind of aware
that this is not going to go the way he wants it to be.
Forgot how to speak there for a second.
It happens.
It was not going to happen.
Great sequence here. Henry and Joel are laughing, talking about motorcycles. Henry's super into the idea of having a motorcycle. Joel had one at one point. Talking about him and Tommy riding motorcycles when he was younger. And there's a great sequence in which Ellie is talking to Sam. Now, if you've seen a zombie movie, you know what this is.
The whole trying to make sense of the situation, trying to find sympathy for the devil. Where, do you think they're still alive in there? What happens to somebody after they turn? And then Ellie tries to comfort. She's like, well, I don't know if I believe in a heaven, but I like to believe that whoever was in there is there.
It's a very, very it's a response that I identify with a lot. This idea that you want to believe in something better. But Ellie's like, I don't think I do, but I want to.
Which is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. I'm a very agnostic person. I would love to believe in something, but I don't have it. I don't, but I wish I could, if that makes any sense. And she's saying that to Sam from this way of like, hey, but we got to stay focused on what we have. And Sam, you know why later on when you realize that Sam's been bitten. Sam's basically
so heartbreaking when he pulls up the pant leg. He doesn't. Ellie gives him the robot, and he just throws the robot
which is
down.
a great moment where she's like, we can have, it's this kid moment. It's like, hey, I got this for you. But also, it's like this, we can also. There's still things to love. There's still good in the world. And Sam rolls up his leg and looks at it when she leaves, and you realize he's basically trying to come to terms what's about to happen to him. Now, it's very much a trope in zombie fiction to not tell the people who get bit, don't tell the person they've been bit kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But this sequence plays out so brutal, and it really does get across that point that you made earlier on, where what happens to people with empathy in this war, they just don't make it. Because, the next morning comes around, Ellie goes to get Sam. Sam is turned. He attacks Ellie.
Henry's making breakfast.
There's this great sequence where Joel's about to shoot Sam. And Henry goes, don't you do it. Don't do it. That's my brother. And then Henry does it. Because Henry understands how the universe works. He understands how this works. But when he does it, he can't take it. He's got too much good in him.
It's like, that's my brother.
He kills Sam, and then he turns the gun on himself and shoots himself in the head.
There's a moment of, can we salvage this? And he's just like, just give me the gun.
Yeah, I love Joel's in this scene, because Joel knows what's about to happen almost right away, because he just understands this level of grief. Mm-hmm. Where Joel's like, Henry, just hand me the gun, please. He knows what's happening. It's almost like Ellie wouldn't understand it. Joel understands this level of, despair, having experienced something similar to this.
Yeah. He knows what it's like to lose somebody, and he's probably seen the amount of stuff he's seen similar to this play out over the course of the 20 years it's been.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
And like him, like just holding his hand, like, please, Henry, just give me the gun. And Henry just turns it on him and shoots himself in this, like, and it's this, a lot of games and a lot of media depicts people who commit suicide as, we probably need like a content warning on this episode.
For real.
They depict it in this like dramatic, like slow realization. Like, this is brutal. He's like screaming and crying. And it's just like this instant decision because it's not a rational decision.
It's almost a reflex.
It's a reflex
like,
to the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflex to the moment. And it's not rational, so it's not done in a rational way. If that makes any sense. Because
moments of like regret happen in the blink of an eye, where if he just had a single second, he may not have gone through with this.
There is people who
there's a line in a really great movie where a character does something almost out of character, and he says, "A moment that passed like a fleeting shadow." That's what it is. Like, it's there and it's gone, and you have to live or die with those repercussions.
Sometimes you're a step away from making bad decisions, and it's just because you didn't take that step. Is not because you wouldn't have. It's because you just didn't have the chance, or you had something stop you. Like, people want to believe that things are rational and planned, and they're not. Sometimes they just happen, and this man just experienced the worst possible thing he could experience. And he fucking just couldn't handle it for that second, and he made the decision that ended his life.
And the best thing we can do is try to give ourselves a level headspace, so when those moments do come up, we can maintain a level head and not resort to those like impulse actions and stuff like that.
Training yourself and reminding yourself to not act on the emotion, and that's easier said than done, man. Because
this is a world in The Last of Us that they don't have those barriers built over time. Those are barriers that are worn down day after day after day after day after day, and it never stops. It never lets go. That's why these moments, these quiet moments in this game are my favorites. These moments of levity between these characters are like the most human part of this game. And it makes these brutal scenes hit even harder because we care about Henry, we care about Sam, we care about Tess. We care about every single person we met on this journey, and to see them all go by the wayside hurts. And if it's wearing on us, you know it's wearing on these characters too, and which is great storytelling. It's great player-character relationship building because we have an attachment to these characters even more so now. When we lose characters that we're attached to, it hurts us too.
It reminds us what has built these people into who they are. Joel is the way he is. Ellie is the way she is because of these experiences. And that's something that's just massively important, man. You can't put any more intention on this other than that of how well done this is. It's a great title card cut here to Fall, where we found out that obviously this has happened. Joel and Ellie are now in Jackson. Is this supposed to be is it Jackson, Colorado? Wyoming? Is it Jackson, Wyoming? I for some reason I meant to look this up. I know it's not Jackson, Mississippi because we're out west.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, I thought when I heard Jackson, I was like, "Why the fuck did we go to Mississippi? We're supposed to go west." But I think it's Jackson, Wyoming. And I love the change in scenery. Obviously,
it is Wyoming. Yes.
Jackson, Wyoming. We are out here because this is where Joel's brother, whose brain just left my brain. Tommy, is living, and we get this great quiet sequence of Joel and Ellie walking down the road and walking through the woods, chasing this river.
And when we last left, we were in Pittsburgh, so we were in summer. It took a whole season. That is a long journey from Pennsylvania to Wyoming, which is in the Midwest. So.
It's a long trip.
So the bulk of this journey was just cut. We don't see it, which I think is more powerful because we know it took a whole season since we got them, so like 2 to 3 months of these characters being together. And because of that, their relationship is different than how we left. It's a lot more of a different relationship here versus it was a natural way of where it was building to, but feels like a closer relationship here because of all the stuff they've been through. We don't know how many clickers and stuff they've encountered.
We don't know how many like groups of people they've encountered, both negative and positive. You don't know. A great sequence here where like Ellie's like implying about hunting. She's like, if I see another rabbit, I'm shooting that thing.
They're like, I'm so hungry. I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry too. We'll get some.
But I really like this whole sequence here. We go to a dam and we do another Ellie on a pallet sequence. I do admit that I'm getting kind of tired of the pallet stuff. I think
it's one too many.
It's one too many here. I think that
it doesn't control the way you want to, like big wide turns, and sometimes when you line it up incorrectly, you gotta like move it back and then try to line it up correctly again.
I think the first one is great. There's one inside Pittsburgh doing the city stuff that I think is unnecessary. Then there is the one in the sewer section, which is great because it's Ellie and Joel using a trick that they learned. And like Henry comments on it. He's like, that's actually really smart. This is one. This is.
It does the thing. This is the one writing knock I'll give this game. It does the thing that I hate in games where Ellie's like, "Oh, we're doing this again. This isn't fun." I'm like, "No, it's not. Thank you."
Anytime
for
a character if you point out what's not fun to me, that doesn't mean it's okay. It just means that you knew you shouldn't have done this. And like,
perfect 10 out of 10 video game. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Get one line and soured it.
Yeah, I'm not. No, listen. Yep. Twitter would say yes, but no, I'm not going to say that. I will say though, also there's a weird thing for me where I didn't think I could swim that close to it because it's like a lot of like rushing water coming off the edge there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I can get that close to that. I'll probably fall off the edge, and it doesn't really affect you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a weird moment where I was hesitant to jump into the water because I'm like, am I going to like get washed down this thing? But no. When we get there, we run into Tommy. There was a group of people at the dam, and you find out that Tommy and his group was out there trying to get the dam back up and running. They had it got shut down.
I love this bit here because it's built up through the conversations that she was like, "Will your brother help us?" He's like, "Well, the last time I talked to him, he told me to go to hell." It's just like, well, that's great.
Yeah, you realize how you're learning that Tommy and him
so real because once they finally see each other, they give each other a look, and all of that, at least for this moment, goes away
because they're still brothers and they still love each other. And they had disagreements, and those disagreements come back. But I love the fact that, yeah, there's not like, fuck him, don't let him in here. There's not like this, I'm a gruff guy who don't care about nobody.
I told you to go to hell.
Yeah, it's not that. He's just like, holy shit, it's Joel.
It's my brother.
And like, I love that sequence. He's also married now. He has a wife.
That would have been awkward to shoot my brother-in-law. Was a good line.
Yeah, I really like that sequence. You realize that he's got a decent community going here in Jackson. He's got he references 20 families.
They are down. They have this town of Jackson, which we'll see. Which we'll definitely see more of in like the other game, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
we kind of right away from that here. But they've coming down because they're fixing the dam to like try to like get more power in the area, and you see just like this network of people as they're offering tools and equipment to get this thing back online. And I love that you don't interact with it, but you like see Tommy stop and you look over the railing as they're reassembling this power system.
Because it's a hydro dam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hydro dam.
And I love that bit there too, where Ellie's like, well, how does it work? And Joel's like, I just know what it is. I don't know how it works.
That's another thing where I like Joel as a human being from that time. I don't know exactly how a hydro dam works. I have a theory that I know it uses water to turn the thing,
the turbines, and the turbines somehow make electricity, but
it's a very vague understanding. But I do love the fact that Ellie's always like, well, you explain it, you're from back then. And he's like, I don't fucking know how it worked. Just because I lived back then.
But somehow Tommy found guys who do how it works, and they get the lights on. And
it kind of is like a reasonable thing to think that if you lived out in Wyoming you probably were not as affected by this as more populated centers. Like, that does make sense, that you would have a better chance if you're out there in the middle of nowhere. You know, Wyoming doesn't have a huge population, so therefore we'll probably have a less populated infected section.
Also, Midwest nice is a thing. You probably end up with a lot more good people in the Midwest that won't turn to each other and kill each other.
We're the South. We're going to be shooting at each other right from the get-go.
The minute someone coughs, we're drawing guns.
Yeah, hell. And then they'll tell you, yes. Whoever told you that Southern hospitality is a thing is lying to you. I want you to understand this. I really like this sequence, and I also like the fact that when Tommy and Joel finally get to have a conversation, Joel's like, hey, I need you to go take away the fireflies. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. One, I'm not with them anymore. And two, go to hell. I have a life here. You can't show up and tell me what to do. And like, I really like that sequence of like Joel being like, and also he's like, you can't just pass your responsibility on to me. And Joel being like, you know what? Like, no, I need you to do this. Do it, Firefly boy. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. You can't tell me what to do anymore. And like, there's also an implication that Tommy wasn't as comfortable with the things that Joel was doing. Mm-hmm. Like, there was an implication. He's like, I left because of what you were doing and you and Tess and stuff. Like, Joel was probably doing some really bad shit, and Tommy didn't like it. Like, even when he went around with it. But then there's also
and you knew that tension was on their ideologies based on that car ride, which established those characters, which is so well done, and the fact that it like.
But also, I love like there's a great line where Joel goes, "I kept you alive." Like,
I kept us safe.
Like, I kept us safe. Yes. Like, yeah, I damn did some stuff, but you're here today because of the things I did. And Tommy, like, talking about, like, even one point he said something like, oh, maybe we didn't deserve to be. Or something like, you know, like, it's very much a fundamental differences in people, right? There's this mentality of, I'm going to do what I have to do to get us and the people I care about out of this. And then there's the person who's like, I have a moral code that's more important than the end. Like, sometimes doing the right thing to me is more important than surviving. And then the other way is like, no, you don't get to do future good things if you die today. So we're doing what we gotta do. And I really love that.
There's no wrong answers here because this world just creates the situation, but it's a testament to writing again and a testament to the characters. I know we go on and on about that, but it's doesn't make it any less true. Like, Tommy and Joel feel like real people here. This feels like an actual disagreement that someone have, and I love. There's a combat sequence here about like getting back to Ellie. We talked about the combat.
Yeah, you get attacked by some raiders and stuff.
Once you get there and make sure everyone's safe, what sells Tommy on this is how he interacts with Joel. There's a bit there where he's like, I saved something for you when I went back to Texas, and tries to give Joel a picture of him and Sarah. And Joel's like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
It hurts too much to even look at it. And he's like, well, okay. Well, it's like, if you change your mind, I'll have it for you. There's a bit where what sells Tommy on Joel and his belief and why he decides to
actually
do
help.
it.
Or
just him reacting to, he immediately goes to Ellie and is like, are you okay? And it's not, Tommy realizes that to him, Ellie is not just a mission anymore. He sees what he saw when he was with Sarah. Nothing says that, but you can tell from that where Ellie's
even
like, oh my god, like it was crazy. She just dove over and went bam, 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 get a bunch of dudes, and I'm like,
I love Tommy's response where he just goes, God damn it. Because it's just realization of like, I guess I gotta do it. And he looks at his wife and he's just like,
oh crap,
she gonna hate me so fucking bad. And like, I love the cut here because it's Joel leaning up against like a truck or something, and it's just them having intense conversation off in the distance, and Joel just like, yep. And then she comes walking up and Joel's just like, here we go. It just leans
literally just like praising for it. And she goes, if anything happens to him, it's on you. And he's like, I know, yep.
And the big thing to keep in mind here is Joel is not going with Tommy.
This is the end of the road for him.
This is the end of the road for him. Well, Ellie finds that out.
She's mad about two things. One, it's so good because, one, she feels guilty that she's putting these people in this position based on her immunity. And the second is she's angry at Joel for pawning her off when they thought they had something and had a real connection. So she grabs one of the horses and escapes.
This leads to a really cool sequence when you're on horseback. It also leads to a great fight where you and Tommy team up to take down some guys at this ambush at like this random house on the way.
Oh, I love it so much because it's an environment.
Nasty.
I love it because you know this environment so well that, and you're on the upstairs. So once you clear the people off from the upstairs, you have the drop on these guys. I did not die to this encounter. No. It was so fun to just like sneak on dudes. I used the smoke bombs here to get the drop on dudes and was like choking them out. Went from like one to the other.
I used the bow a lot, and
then
when things got hot, the El Diablo's great.
I took this entire section out stealth. Like they did not see me coming. It felt like the Predator. It was so good here. But before this, you get my favorite scene so far in this game. It's so well acted. Props to Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker here. Joel comes in to the room with Ellie, chasing her, and he's ready to scream. He's ready to yell because he's mad.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was talking about the scene before this.
Oh,
there was a fight on the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were talking about. I was talking about like the ambush at the house with Ellie and everything.
Okay, there's a fight. You get ambushed on the way.
Yeah, where you like drop.
So I was talking about that one, and then I was in the same spot though.
Yeah. Okay.
We eventually get to Ellie.
Yeah.
To meet Ellie.
Yes.
We find where Ellie went. She went to this ranch. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
It's my favorite scene so far in this game. Joel's ready to go in and scream and yell at Ellie for what's happening, and he just sees her there with a journal. And she's like, is this what people had to worry about? Boys, what skirt goes with like which skirt? And the realization of how petty that the squabbles that we have in our day-to-day life feel so petty, don't they, in comparison to everything? We don't know how good we have it. We can like worry about our like petty grievances with like our neighbors or something, the people we hate, but we don't want to kill any of them. We don't want to put ourselves before them in any way. Is a testament to how bad things have gotten in this world.
We don't have a bunch of kids die because someone left a door open.
Yep. Just boys and
movies.
Skirts and movies. I love this scene. It's so good.
It de-escalates Joel so quickly. Because like Joel sees him and he's just like, she's just a fucking kid, man. And I love when Ellie takes him to task. And she says, you know I'm not Sarah. And Joel,
that hurts him
when
bad.
He turns, he's like, don't fucking say that.
He's like, you are skating on some very thin ice right now.
And that's
the scariest Joel has been in this entire game. Is when he says that.
When he turns around, he says you were skating on very thin ice. Because you realize how deep he's buried that. And he's like, I know you're not Sarah. But, like, don't fucking say her name.
He's like, as soon as you leave this area, we're done.
Yeah.
But it's so great because this is the end of this bit here. Because it's a cutscene ride back to camp.
After the fight.
After the fight. There's a fight here. And then you just see on his expression where you realize that he took it too far, and he comes to realization on our own. There's no choice from the player. There's no dialogue. It's all silent here. When you get back to Jackson, and he says, so where are they? Where'd you say? Eastern Colorado? All right, Ellie, let's go. And she just has that moment of, wait, what? And he's like, he realizes that she's right. He was in the wrong in this situation, and
you want to talk about like mature writing?
Mm-hmm.
Characters throughout this story make bad decisions or make decisions that they do, are wrong, quote unquote, but they own up to them. They deal with their repercussions.
They grow from them.
They grow and they make changes and they do unrational things sometimes because human beings do unrational things, and
how quick it is to realize. How many times have you made an outburst in an argument and then immediately go, why did I do that?
The fact that the story trusts you as a player to understand these things. Tommy doesn't go, what do you mean? You're going to Colorado now? Like, a lesser written story would be like, what do you mean? You're going? Yeah, Tommy. I think it's me and her to the end. A lesser written story would have this kind of layer of dialogue. Tommy just looks at him. He's like, okay. Because he understands. It treats you as a player like you're an intelligent human being who has life experience. And I'm sure some people probably don't pick up on a lot of this shit because I've seen a lot of people who don't have fucking life experience. But what a fucking intelligent thing. I God damn it, dude. I fucking love this game.
Right? This is the point where when I played this originally, I was like, I'm not putting this game down. I think I finished it from this section in a day. I had this game finished.
I would have finished it
that night.
Probably the next night if it wasn't for the fact that I had to stop for this show. But now we haven't stopped yet though.
There's one more section. A pretty light section. It's the most connected Joel and Ellie have been in their relationship here. They're talking about football when he's explaining.
I love that thing. She's like, so if you make it, you just have to recount again. He's like, yeah, kind of, but it makes more sense when you play it. You just gotta play it a few times. Like this idea of him explaining. I also loved when he goes, "Is it what is it? Eastern Colorado University?" He goes, "Go Rams!" Just like the fact that Joel remembers college football teams. It just. Little moments like that
the quiet moments are my favorite part of this game. They're so well done, and they emphasize the violence. They emphasize the heavy moments. Because if everything was a 10, then nothing would be a 10.
If everything is a screaming 10, nothing's a 10.
If you have highs and lows, you have highs and lows.
And even this sequence, we have all this moment as we're going through Colorado University. There's some really great sequences here as you're going through the dorms where you're dealing with some infected. Great story building stuff in here, talking about people on the campus realizing the infection was going on, but
wildlife coming back to the world, the monkeys,
the lab monkeys running around. I love that sequence where you come over on the horse and Ellie goes, "Look, monkeys!" And it's just it's great.
Oh man,
this sequence is relatively short. I think it's a great gameplay sequence as we navigate all of this. But it leads up to basically us getting to where the Fireflies were. We realize they're not there. They've packed up the lab. It seems like things went south for them. And it seems like they made a break to Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Utah. Yep, that's where we're going next.
And so once we find that out, we're not alone. There's some other raiders that show up. They're kind of random that they show up here, but we need a reason to get to the next section. Some great fights in this whole area as we're trying to get out. Leads to Joel getting into a really rough hand-to-hand combat fight and falling off of the top level onto the number one threat to all video game heroes ever, rebar. Everybody falls on rebar.
The gasp I had when I played this section for the first time 13 years ago.
Dude, it's nasty as he's moving. Because you really get across that feeling of hopelessness, that you're bleeding out.
Yeah, and what it does is some games when you get injured like that, it immediately the screen immediately shrinks and you are in a wounded state. Joel's still on an adrenaline high.
I love the sequence.
And then as soon as you keep going and keep walking through this section, your steps get smaller and smaller.
I love the sequence when he's laying on the rebar. And Ellie's like, what am I going to do? What do we need to do? And he goes, move. And she's like, what? Move? Move. And the guy kicks the door in and you shoot the guy as he kicks it.
So good.
Because I love that sequence of even when this horrible damage he just had happen to him, Joel's still aware enough to know that he's in danger. And like that makes that whole escape even worse because like Joel is fading and they're still there. And there's a great sequence in which you fall and two guys are coming at you, and Ellie got the gun on him, and they go, "She's got a gun!" And you hear pap pap pap.
She's a kid.
Pap, pap, pap. Yeah, and like the kid she just guns both of them down. This is a great sequence as Joel is fading. You feel like hopeless as Ellie's just trying to like guide him out.
Guys that were no problem before, you're ducked behind, and as you try to like come out, a guy is like constantly hitting you with suppressing fire.
Yeah, he's like walking forward with the shotgun before Ellie takes you out. Dude, nasty sequence. It leads to us getting out and then Joel passing out, and we get title card.
On the horse, you think you're making it out of there, and all of a sudden Joel falls off the horse, and it kind of mirrors the beginning of this game where he's holding on to Sarah, and he's like, "Please don't go." Ellie runs up to Joel and is like, Joel, cut to black, winter.
And that's where we stop.
Where we see, because I did say stop whenever you're controlling when you're controlling. I didn't say who you had control over.
Look at you, you sly dog.
You see a rabbit. You see a
but
into the rabbit. It pans over. It's Ellie. You're now playing as Ellie in this game. Did you know about this?
I did not know about this.
You did not know about this.
I did not know about this sequence. Obviously, Joel was not dead. At least I don't think he is. I'm assuming he's not. But I did not think we'd be switching to Ellie. I'm very excited about this next sequence. I am loving the hell out of this video game.
Yes.
Masterpiece design. I mean, we're bringing back the 2-hour-long episodes over this game because fuck yeah, we are.
Well earned game to do it too.
Dude, so we will be finishing this for our next game club.
Yeah, the end. When end credits roll,
that's when we stop.
That's
the game is over.
When this was the only one in the Last of Us franchise, when the credits roll, that's our stopping point.
I'm loving the hell out of this, man.
I want to know where do you know, you said once we started there were 2 spoilers you knew.
The first spoiler that I knew was that I knew that there was a sequence at the beginning of the game in which Joel his kid is there.
Yeah. And
I assume the kid died. The second one is I think I know something about the ending.
Okay.
I don't have context.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yes. So okay. I'm not really like 100%. And I'm by no means trying to...
Who knows? You might be thinking about something in the next game too.
Could.
So, maybe.
Could. So we will see. Stay to save at TikTok, at YouTube, Spotify, all your podcasting apps. Tell your friends. Welcome all our new listeners. Thank you guys so much. Last episode did very well. We're very, very happy about that. Please continue to support RPG Summer. Put your suggestions in, and we will be back hopefully in the next week or so for the Summer Games Fest show, and then we will be back.
A little bit more brevity before we go back to The Last of Us for the last episode.
It's gonna be great.
Holy cow! Tip of the iceberg.
Stay safe, man.